reflection of light at curved surfaces. So, in earlier classes, we have already learned about reflection and the laws of reflection. So, let us recollect what do you mean by reflection. When a light ray comes out from a source, the source can be torchlight, tube light or bulb or natural source of energy, that is sun. Whatever which emits light is called source. So, the light rays which comes out from the source, when hits a reflecting surface like a mirror, when hits a reflecting surface like a mirror, the light ray coming out from the source hits a plane mirror at some point, and that light rays reflect back. So that entire phenomena of bouncing back of light is called as reflection. And we have two laws of reflection in case of a plane mirror, that is angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection, and incident ray, reflected ray and normal lies on the same plane. So today's lesson is about reflection of light at curved surfaces. So earlier we have seen reflection of light at plane surfaces, that is a plane mirror, how an image is formed inside a plane mirror when object is in front of the mirror. In the same way, we will learn here about how reflection happens in case of a curved mirror. So what do you mean by curved mirror? What are the points, important points that we are going to cover in this chapter? So the first thing is, what do you mean by a curved mirror or spherical mirror? So if you take a glass sphere and if you cut a part of it, you will get a structure like this, you will get a curved part like this. So in order to make this into a mirror, if you coat the outer surface, the inner surface will act as a reflecting surface, and such mirror is called concave mirror. If the curved part, inner surface is coated and outer surface acts as a reflecting surface, and such mirrors are called convex mirrors. So the definition, these two, concave mirror and convex mirror, in turn both are called as spherical mirrors. And main points that you will learn about spherical mirrors, that is curved surfaces, are a few special terms, that is pole, center of curvature, radius of curvature, focus, focal length, yes, and the relationship between radius and focal length. So what do you mean by a pole? If you take the curved mirror, this is a concave mirror which is coated outside, and inner surface acts as a reflecting surface. So on the surface of the spherical mirror, the geometrical center on the surface of spherical mirror is nothing but pole. And what do you mean by center of curvature is, this curved mirror is cut from a hollow glass sphere. This curved mirror is cut from a hollow glass ball-like structure. So this sphere will have center, right? That center is called center of curvature, and the distance between this pole and that center is nothing but radius of curvature. Center to any point of the circle is nothing but radius. So pole to the center of this curved part is nothing but the distance between those two is nothing but radius of curvature, and the line joining those pole and center of curvature is nothing but principal axis. And the midpoint between pole and center of curvature is nothing but focus, and the distance between pole and focus is called focal length, and it is denoted by small l. Yes, and one more thing you will learn about, radius is twice the focal length, or focal length is half of the radius. Yes, and how we will see, and a real image can be caught on the screen. So you will learn about nature of the images. What is an image? So far in earlier classes you have learned type of image it is, what is the nature of the image, and what is the size of the image. All those characteristics you will learn in the lesson. Yes, so the real image can be got on the screen and the virtual image cannot be got on the screen. How? We will see in our explanation of the lesson. And an incident ray parallel to the principal axis, when reflected, it passes through the focus and vice versa. Vice versa in the sense the converse of it. So when an incident ray parallel to the principal axis passes through the focus when reflected. Yes. So vice versa means when an incident ray passes through the focus, then the reflected ray will be parallel to the principal axis. So about this you will learn in the lesson. And an incident ray passing through the center of curvature will reflect back in the same path. So why it reflects back in the same path, the reason for it also you will learn in the lesson in a clear manner. Yes, and concave mirrors are used in solar heaters by dentists and telescopes, headlight, torchlight, yes, etc. So in detail all these important points will come across in your lesson. Yes, and the special terminology that you haven't used so far, the special terminology you will learn in this lesson are enlarged or magnified. Enlarged in the sense very larger. So it can also be named as magnified, highly magnified. Highly magnified in the sense, so the image is highly magnified in the sense the image obtained is very larger in size than the object. Yes, diminished. Diminished in the sense smaller in size, smaller. So highly diminished in the sense very smaller. And converging and diverging. So what do you mean by converging? So all the incident rays when reflected converge. Converge in the sense move towards a particular point. So that is nothing but converging. And diverging. All the incident rays when they fall on a mirror, they diverge, move away from each other. In this case, move towards each other to meet at a point, and in diverging, move away from each other. Yes, and erect. Erect is nothing but upright position. So when I stand before a mirror, so how I am standing before the mirror, in the same way I will appear inside the mirror. The image is appeared inside the mirror. So that is nothing but erect. Inverted in the sense, so if I stand in front of a mirror, if I look reverse, head at the bottom and my legs at the top position, so then it is nothing but a inverted position. So these are the special terms that you will come across in this lesson. Things to be known about the lesson. Each and every part of the lesson is very important, because this chapter is the basic for 2 more chapters that you have in your 10th class syllabus. And mainly the topics which are very important are the special terms which are used for drawing the ray diagrams are very important. And sometimes in your final exam directly they will ask the definition of the special terms like pole, radius of curvature, center of curvature, focus and focal length for 1 mark. Yes, not all the 4, any 2 for 1 mark. Yes, and after drawing the ray diagrams, you will get an image. So what are the characteristics of image? So whether the real or virtual. So the differences between real image and virtual image. So real image can be caught on the screen and virtual image cannot be caught on the screen. Real image can be obtained in front of the mirror, and virtual image cannot be obtained in front of the mirror. It will occur in or behind the mirror. Yes, like this you need to write the differences between virtual image and real image. And also the differences between concave and convex mirrors. Coming to the case of concave mirror, the outer surface is coated and the inner surface acts as a reflecting surface, and concave mirror forms both real and virtual images. Yes. And coming to convex mirrors, the inner surface is coated and outer surface acts as a reflecting surface, convex mirror forms only virtual images. If it forms virtual images, all the images are errant. In case of concave, it forms both real and virtual. So, images, if it is real, it will be inverted, and if it is virtual, those will be errant. Like this, you can write the differences between concave and convex mirrors, especially these questions of differences between real and virtual and concave and convex mirrors can be asked directly, so for 2 marks. And R and F relation between relation based problems. So relationship between radius of curvature and focal length. So radius is twice the focal length, or focal length is half of the radius. So related to this, you will get a simple problem which is of 2 marks, very easy. Yes, so if radius of a concave mirror is 8 centimeters, find the focal length. Very easy. Since radius is 8 centimeters, focal length is half of the radius. F is equals to R by 2. F is equals to 8 by 2. So your focal length is going to be 4 centimeters. Yes, so like this, if you solve, you will get easily 2 marks. And ray diagrams for concave and convex mirrors. This is very important concept in the whole chapter, as these special terms play an important role in drawing ray diagrams. So this is very important. So you need to draw the ray diagram. Sometimes direct question he may ask, or sometimes in the form of a table. If you place the object so and so, where did you get the image, what is the type of image, what is the nature of image, in a tabular form or simply directly. Yes, so find the position, nature and type of the image when the object is placed in front of a concave mirror sometimes and convex mirror also sometimes. So at C, at center of curvature, if you place at C, how the image is going to be formed, you need to draw a ray diagram and you need to write the position, nature and type of the image. Yes, in the same way at F, at infinity, at F and C, between F and C and at F, and between P and F. Okay, among these 6, he may ask 4 for sure. So this is a direct question. Definitely you will get 4 marks. You will get it for 4 marks. It is repeated most of the time. So very important. And sometimes he will ask, using the ray diagram, solve the problem. So anyhow, in the next class you will learn about how to find the focal length or image distance or object distance in the next class using the formula. So in this class you will learn about ray diagrams. So how ray diagrams are used for solving the problems. Clear? So without drawing ray diagram, you cannot solve the problem sometimes, if he asks particularly in the exam. Okay, and sometimes that is also for 4 marks, related problems also for 4 marks, and complete the ray diagram. So sometimes the examiner may give an incomplete ray diagram and ask to complete it. So that will be for 1 mark. So these are very important questions in examination point of view, and as this is the basic lesson for the 2 more chapters, so this lesson is very important, mostly on around if your physics paper is, as your physics paper is for 50 marks, 5 marks definitely, 4 to 5 marks will be from first chapter, including objective type. One objective type question you will get, 4 marks you will get, 1 mark you will get, or else 2 marks, 1 marks and objective type sometimes. But definitely 4 to 5 marks you will get from the first chapter, reflection of light at curved surfaces. Reflection of light at curved surfaces. Today we are going to learn about spherical mirrors. What do you mean by spherical mirror? Why do we need to learn about spherical mirror? Before moving on to the topic, let us give you an example. If you take a spoon and if you look into the spoon while having your lunch or dinner, if you look into the spoon, you find your image inside the spoon. Sometimes very smaller and sometimes very larger and sometimes something like funny or that is like something that looks like bulging? Yes or no? What is the reason for the formation of that kind of image inside the spoon? So in order to know about that, we need to learn about spherical mirrors. How do you make a spherical mirror? So in order to make a spherical mirror, you need to take a hollow glass sphere and it should be smoothly polished both inside and outside without any irregularities. And cut some part of it. If you cut some part of it, you will get a curved like structure. Yes or no? When you get a curved like structure, if you coat the bulged part, that is the outer part, the inner surface will act as reflecting surface. So if you take the curved part and if you coat the outside part, that is bulged part, with a silver or aluminium, then inner surface acts as a reflecting surface. Then such mirror is called concave mirror. Today we are going to learn more about concave mirror. And the same curved part, if you coat the inner side and if outer side acts as a reflecting surface, then it is called convex mirror. We have two types of mirrors, that is spherical mirrors, that is concave mirror and convex mirror. Now, finding the normal for spherical mirrors. How do you find the normal for spherical mirrors? You people already know about the normal in case of a plane mirror. So when an incident ray comes and hits the mirror at point of incidence, at that point of incidence, if you draw a perpendicular, then that becomes a normal for the mirror. But how do you find the normal in case of a spherical mirror? Yes. So in order to know about that, let us take some special ray, some random ray. I am taking here concave mirror, some random ray which is coming out from a source and hits the spherical mirror at some point. So for this incident ray we need to draw the normal. How we are going to draw that, we will see now. So this random ray is coming and hitting the spherical mirror at some point. At this point, for this ray, the mirror will act like a plane mirror. Yes, the mirror only for at this point, for this ray, the mirror will act like a plane mirror. And if you draw a perpendicular over there, so and measure the angle, then your angle of reflection you will get. That is your incident ray you will get. So angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection, both in case of plane mirror and also in case of what? Spherical mirrors also. Yes, understood? So when you take any random ray, if it hits the spherical mirror at some point, at that particular point, the mirror at this part of the mirror will act as a plane mirror, and when you draw a normal, for it, it will definitely touch the center of the sphere. Because in geometry we know that a tangent to a circle, when a tangent is drawn at a particular point to a circle, at that point if you draw a perpendicular, that is nothing but equal to the radius. In simple way, the radius of a circle is perpendicular to the tangent. So here also in the same way, for this random ray, if I draw a perpendicular at this point, as this is a sphere, so from this point if I draw a normal, that normal will definitely touch the center, that is this is nothing but the radius, and then you can draw the reflected ray. So angle of this is incident angle, that is angle between incident ray and normal, and this is reflected angle, the angle between reflected ray and the normal. Yes, understood? Now, we learn about some special terms related to the spherical mirrors. What is the use of learning special terms related to the spherical mirrors? Because these special terms will make our learning easier, and these special terms will help us to find the image formed by the spherical mirror, that is concave or convex. Now, the first special term that we are learning about is the geometric center. The geometric center on the surface of spherical mirror is called pole. It is the center on the surface of spherical mirror, and this mirror is a part of a sphere, right? This mirror we have cut from a sphere. This sphere will have center, no? The center of the sphere of which this mirror is a part. The center of the sphere of which our spherical mirror is a part, that is called as center of curvature. That is called as center of curvature. And the line joining pole and center of curvature is called as principal axis. Is called as principal axis. And now, consider a concave mirror. You have a pole, center of curvature, and a line joining both pole and center of curvature, that is nothing but a principal axis. For now I am writing it as P and A. Yes, and consider a special ray which is parallel to the principal axis. Consider a ray which is parallel to the principal axis. Now, you need to draw a normal at this point. Always the normal of the spherical mirror will pass through the center of curvature, and the reflected ray. This is how you will get the reflected ray, since angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection. And consider one more special ray, that is again the ray which is again parallel to the principal axis, and draw normal for it, and the reflected ray will also pass through the same point, same as the before incident ray, before reflected ray path. So both reflected rays meet at a point. Both incident rays got converged and both meet at a point. That point is called focus. That point is called focus. The reflected rays will get converged at a point between pole and center of curvature. That is called focus, or simply focus is the midpoint between pole and center of curvature. Focus is the midpoint between pole and center of curvature. And the distance between pole and center of curvature is radius of curvature. Yes, center to any point on the circle, the distance between those 2 points is nothing but radius, that you people already know. And the distance between pole and focus is nothing but focal length. Is nothing but focal length. Now, PC is equals to R. Yes or no? PC is equals to R, can I write? And PF is equals to small f, can I write? Yes. So, PC is equals to PF plus FC. Yes or no? So, PC is equals to PF plus FC. Since PC is equals to R, PF is equals to small f. FC is also equal to small f, because F is the midpoint of P and C. F is the midpoint of P and C. R is equals to F plus F. R is equals to 2F, or F is R by 2. R is equals to 2F in the sense radius is twice the focal length. That is, if you double the focal length, you will get radius, or if you half the radius, you will get focal length. Yes or no? So, you will have some problems related to this radius and focal length in 1 mark question. In 1 mark question in your final exam. And this is about special terms: pole, focus, center of curvature, radius and focal length, and the relationship between radius and focal length. Radius is double the focal length, or focal length is half of the radius. Now, in order to draw ray diagrams, ray diagrams for concave mirrors. So today's our topic is about concave mirrors, right? So in order to draw ray diagrams for concave mirrors, we need minimum 2 rays or 2 or more rays. So we will learn about some three special rays which help us in drawing the ray diagrams. So what are the three special rays we will see? Now again I have taken a concave mirror and I have marked pole, focus, center of curvature, and this is the line passing through all the three is nothing but principal axis. Yes or no? Yes. So if a ray passes through, if any incident ray which passes through the center of curvature, if any ray which passes through the center of curvature, at this point this mirror will act like a plane mirror. Yes or no? So if I draw a tangent over here, this is nothing but perpendicular and makes 0 degrees angle and reflects back in the same path. So any ray which passes through the center of curvature will reflect back in the same path. So this is the first case. And in second case, you take the same concave mirror and mark pole, focus and center of curvature. In the line joining all the three is nothing but principal axis. So if any ray which is parallel to the principal axis will passes through the focus. The reflected ray will passes through the focus. We have seen already. And the converse of it, the reverse of it is the third case. What is the third case? When an incident ray passes through the focus, then definitely its reflected ray is parallel to the principal axis. Now let us see, by using this all the three special rays, we will draw the ray diagrams which are related to the concave mirror. Before drawing ray diagrams of concave mirror, we will learn about some special characteristics of image formed by the concave mirror. When I stand in front of a mirror, I am the object and I will be able to see my image inside the mirror. Yes, what type of image it is. So, in order to know about that, we will learn some special characteristics which are related to an image. Yes, so the first one is nature of the image. So, the nature of the image is basically of two types, real image and virtual image. The real image can be caught on the screen and real image is obtained in front of the mirror itself. So, wherever the object is, before or after, wherever the object is, before the object or after the object, somewhere in front of the mirror only, the real image is formed. The real image is obtained where the two reflected rays will meet. If the two reflected rays will meet at a point, at that point the real image is going to be obtained. And the second type of image is virtual image. Virtual image cannot be caught on the screen. Virtual image can be seen in the mirror or assumed that it may be formed behind the mirror. So it cannot be caught on the screen. Understood? It is not obtained in front of the mirror as in case of real image. Clear? And now size of the image. Size of the image is enlarged and diminished. Enlarged is nothing but very large in size. It is also known as magnified image also. Larger image is also known as magnified image. And diminished. Diminished in the sense smaller. Diminished in the sense smaller. And the type of the image, we have two types of image, erect and inverted. Erect and inverted. Erect is nothing but upright position. However the object is, the image will also be in the same way. When you look into the mirror, how you are standing, you will be in the same position inside the mirror also. You can view your image inside the mirror in the same way. So if the object is in this position, the image will also look in the same manner in case of erect or upright image. And in case of inverted, if the object is in this position, the image is reversed. So this happens in case of real images and erect images occur in case of virtual images. So whatever the image you see inside the plane mirror is nothing but virtual and erect. Understood? Clear? Now, we will draw the ray diagrams for concave mirror by using those special rays which we have learned before. So, for that, take a concave mirror and mark pole, focus and center of curvature. Take an object at some distance far away from the concave mirror. If the object is at infinity, all the rays are parallel to the principal axis. When all the incident rays travel parallel to the principal axis, so let us consider only two, because minimum two rays are required to form an image, because when two reflected rays will meet there, you will get an image. Yes or no? So, let us consider these two rays that are coming from the object, which is placed at infinity. So, these two rays, since these two rays are parallel, from the special rays we have learned, any ray which is parallel to the principal axis will pass through the focus. And this ray will also be passed through the focus, and the two reflected rays meet at a point that is nothing but at focus. So when you place the object at infinity, your image is at focus. The size is point size. Yes or no? The two reflected rays meet at this point. The size of the image is point size, and the nature is real or virtual? Real, because the image is formed in front of the mirror. Image is formed in front of the mirror, and the type is real images are always inverted. Yes, so this is the special case when you place the object at infinity. Now we will learn about case number 2. Now, here in case 2, when you place the object beyond C, that is after to the center of curvature, how the image is going to be formed, we will see now. So, when the object is placed beyond C, consider any two possible special rays that we have learned before. So, one ray I am taking here is parallel to the principal axis. So, the reflected ray will pass through the focus. And one more ray I will take, a ray which passes through the center of curvature, reflects back in the same path. The two reflected rays meet at a point between F and C. So, since the two incident rays are emerging from the tip of the object, so the tip of the object you will get here, the tip of the image you will get here, and the image is inverted. The image you get is inverted. So, when you place the object beyond C, where did you get the image? The image is between F and C. The size, compared to the size of the object, the size of the image is smaller, that is diminished. And the nature of the image, it is real or virtual? It is real. And the type is inverted, because real images always form inverted, and you will be able to see the image in front of the mirror. So it is a real image and it is inverted position. So this is case number 2. Moving on to case number 3, when the object is placed at center of curvature. If you place the object at center of curvature, again consider those two special possible rays. So one ray is a ray which is parallel to the principal axis, passes through the focus, and ray passing through the center of curvature is not possible here, because the object is at center of curvature only. So I am taking converse of it, that is a ray which passes through the focus is parallel to the principal axis, and the two reflected rays meet at this point, and you will get the image here. Yes or no? So both are of same size. The image is formed at C only, Yes, so the size is same in both cases, that is object size is equal to image size, and the nature of the image is formed in front of the mirror. Yes or no? Yes, so it is a real image and it is inverted. And always remember, when you draw the ray diagrams, the distance between pole and focus and center of curvature should be same. So if the distance between pole and focus, if you take as 4 centimeters, and the distance between focus and center of curvature should also be taken as 4 centimeters, then only you will get the ray diagram correct. Now, when you place the object between F and C, F and C, again consider those two special possible rays. So, one ray I am taking as parallel to the principal axis, passes through the focus, and one more ray passing through the focus parallel to the principal axis. And the two reflected rays met here, and here our inverted image is going to be formed. So when you place the object between F and C, the image is beyond C. And the size of the image is usually larger than the size of the object. Yes or no? So enlarged. And the nature of the image is real, because the image is formed in front of the mirror. And the type of the image is real. Images are always inverted. So this is case number 4. Now case number 5. When you place the object at F, consider the two important special rays which are possible. So when you place the object at F, an incident ray which is parallel to the principal axis passes through the focus, and one more ray which passes through the focus is not possible. Here the object is at F itself. So if an incident ray passes through the center of curvature and reflects back in the same path, since these two reflected rays are parallel to each other, assume that if they meet at infinity, if you keep on extending, if parallel rays, if they meet at infinity, they doesn't meet. If they meet at infinity, so the image is formed at infinity. Image is formed at infinity. If you keep on extending, suppose if the image is formed over here, so at that point you will get a highly enlarged or highly magnified image. So the nature of in front of the mirror only you will get. So nature of the mirror image is real and the type is inverted. Understood? And case number 6, if you place the object between P and F, when you place the object between P and F, consider again the two special rays. A ray parallel to the principal axis passes through the focus, and passing through the focus is not possible. So passing through the center of curvature will reflect back in the same path. Okay, will reflect back in the same path. If you keep on extending these, they are divergent rays. They never meet. Yes or no? So when you look from here, you will assume that the image is formed behind the mirror, or you will view the image is obtained in the mirror like this. So you can see object is one side and the image formed is on the other side of the mirror. So the type of the image is erect, same as it is, right? Not inverted. Erect images are virtual and the size of the image is enlarged, and where did you get the image? Behind the mirror. Behind the mirror. So all these six cases, that is the ray diagrams of concave mirror, are very important in annual examination point of view. Yes, so these ray diagrams will also help in solving the problems related to the concave mirror. That's we will see the thing we will see in our next classes. And finally, we will move on to uses of concave mirror, where we will use the concave mirrors. Concave mirrors are used in solar heater, doctor's head mirror, torchlight, headlights of automobiles, telescopes, very large telescopes, and shaving mirrors. So the phenomena of concave mirror. So in case of solar heater, so when all the rays come and fall on the concave part of reflecting surface part of a solar heater, all the rays from the sun will travel and fall on the concave surface of the solar heater. All the rays are parallel, and when reflected they meet at a point, and at that focal point, if you place a stand and if you place a stand place a vessel over it, you can cook, you can boil water, or you can cook rice, or you can boil some vegetables in that, okay, using that. And doctor's head eye mirror. So this doctor head eye mirror is nothing but you will have a large concave mirror. You will have a concave mirror over the eye of a dentist or ENT specialist. So opposite to the concave mirror, you will have a source of light. So when the source of light from infinity come and fall on the concave mirror, which is placed over the eye of the doctor, all the rays converge at focus, and doctor will move his head and find the focus and view the inner parts of teeth or nose, whatever, depending on his profession. And torchlight. So how a torchlight or car headlight looks like? You will find a surface like this, and the bulb is placed at the middle of it, and this inner surface acts as a reflecting surface. So why the bulb is placed here is, this is nothing but the focus. When the bulb is on, from the focus, the light rays will fall on the reflecting surface. The light rays will fall on the reflecting surface and get reflected parallelly, so that you will be able to see the objects during nights or in dark. Yes or no? So the same phenomena is used in telescopes and in shaving mirrors. So shaving mirror is nothing but a concave mirror. This strategy is used in shaving mirror. So the size of the object is usually smaller than the size of the image. So when you look into the shaving mirror or makeup mirror, so the size of your face is enlarged so that you can shave clearly or make up clearly. So this strategy is applied over here. So these are the uses of concave mirror. Thank you. So in today's class you have learnt about spherical mirrors and its types, special terms related to spherical mirrors, how to find a normal for a spherical mirror, yes, and using some special rays, how to draw ray diagrams and ray diagrams of concave mirror, and uses of concave mirror and characteristics of image formed by the concave mirror. Now it's time for practice session. So if we want to get the image on the object itself, where we should place the object in front of concave mirror, explain with a ray diagram. For this you need to draw a ray diagram in such a way that wherever you place the object, you should get the image there itself. So draw a ray diagram for it and complete the following ray diagram. Here I have drawn an incomplete ray diagram. So object is placed at F and incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, and one more incident ray that is traveling from the tip of the object and touching the concave mirror. Draw the reflected rays for it and try to find the image where the image is formed and write the characteristics of the image. If a concave mirror will not known, what will be the consequences? If concave mirrors were not invented, what would be the consequences? What are the problems that we are going to face? Understood? So, if you simply know the uses of concave mirror, you can easily answer that. Now, when do you get a virtual image in case of a concave mirror? Explain in detail. So, in which case? You have 6 cases. Yes, 6 cases of ray diagrams. So, in which case you will get a virtual image? There is only one and only one case for a concave mirror where you get a virtual image. So, draw the ray diagram and explain. Yes, thank you.